Good morning. I wanted to talk about leadership. Everyone's got a theory about leadership, and I want to try to cut through all the BS. In the business world in which I spend so much time, there's so many theories and different practices that everyone talks about and aspires to, and I think it can be reduced to some basics. And I've learned more about leadership perhaps this week and the last year or two than I ever have in my life. I've actually experienced quite a bit of loss. Just recently, my spiritual teacher passed away at a very young age. And I've had some loss of employees, some turnover, certainly reflects upon my leadership skills or my perception of my own leadership. And the bottom line is that I think that I've learned more about my leadership and about leadership, period, through my connection to being a student. So let me try to explain. We all are leaders and students every day. We all have people that look up to us, and we all have people that we look up to. And I think the best way to, get in touch with your leadership metrics, if you will, is to forget about the metrics, is to focus on what it is that you're doing to bring out the best in the people that you're leading. That's really what it all boils down to, is can you bring out the best in those people? Can you enable them? Can you liberate them? Can you free them to being the best versions of themselves? And it's tricky. It's sort of like the less you try to control them, the more that's going to work. And the way it relates, the way I can relate to it as a student is that in the passing of my spiritual teacher this week, I had a very supernatural event that followed it. And this has happened to me now 3 times in my life. When the most powerful leaders, powerful teachers in my life have passed, it has, all 3 events have been accompanied by, for lack of a better term, supernatural experiences, things that have happened that have made me aware of their passing, and they're making me aware of their passing and giving me a sign as to how to live my life. And what they're telling me is to not wait for being the best version of myself. That's their leadership. And if you want to be a good student, if you want to live up to what it is that your teacher, your leader is looking for in you, then all they're really looking for is for you to live fully, is for you to not wait to be living in joy. It's not to be living in fear. It's not to be living in worry. It's not to be living in stress. It's to be living up to your best version of yourself. And we all have worries, and we all can get consumed by it. And something that the spiritual teacher taught me is something I'll never forget. She said just recently that the worry is always bigger than the event. And if you keep that in mind and you live from your heart and you realize that these people have been put here to enlighten you, to teach you, to guide you, that aspiration that you have is to be, if you can be the best version of yourself for them, that's all they want for you. So going back to leadership, that's what it's all about. It's all about enabling your people, your students, those that you care for, and in many cases, those that you love, if it's your family, to just let them be the best version of themselves and to not worry about all of the stressful things that we envision. Another thing that my guru said was, life is sure to dump manure on your path. And our job as yogis, in this case, is to stay above the manure and to not even smell it. And that's what I take from her, and that's what I'm living, and that's what I'm committed to, and hoping that I can share that thought and that blessing with you.